Days before our 7-year anniversary, I found out my wife had been secretly messaging another man she met on a girls' night out. She begged me to forgive her, but she had no idea what I was planning next. I'm Wade, 31, agricultural systems engineer. My wife Brooke is 29, pediatric occupational therapist. We met in college when she was struggling through organic chemistry and I tutored her. 7 years later, here we are. Or were. Last Monday, Brooke was showering after her late shift. Her phone buzzed on the nightstand. The preview showed a photo message from Garrett, reconference. My gut twisted before my brain caught up. Real estate conference?
She's a pediatric O.T.
I picked up the phone. Her Face ID didn't work, but I knew her passcode, our anniversary date. The photo was him, shirtless in bed. The message below, can't wait to feel you against me again Thursday. 3 months of messages unfolded. Started innocent, met at her friend Kelsey's bachelorette party in April. By May, daily texting. By June, explicit photos, videos, and meetups every week when she claimed to have continuing education courses or late assessments. The worst part? Between sending him lingerie photos, she'd text me about dinner plans. While I was installing hydroponic systems for 12-hour days, she was describing what she wanted him to do to her. I sat on our bed, phone in hand, listening to her humming in the shower. The same woman who cried at our vows. Who held my hand through my father's death 2 years ago. Who talked about kids and growing old together. The shower stopped. I set the phone exactly where it was, angle precise, and walked to the kitchen. Started making her favorite tea. When she came out in her towel, I kissed her forehead, handed her the mug, and asked about her day. She smiled, complained about difficult parents at work, and curled into me on the couch. I held her while she lied about staying late to finish documentation. The next morning, Tuesday, she left for work early. I called in sick, first time in 3 years. Opened my laptop and began. First, the evidence. Her iCloud password was the same. Every message, photo, and video backed up to the cloud. I downloaded everything. 1,247 messages. 89 photos. 12 videos. Created 3 backup drives. 1 for me, 1 for my lawyer, 1 for the safety deposit box. The messages painted the full picture. Garrett was 34, commercial real estate broker, engaged to a woman named Patricia. Brooke knew about Patricia. Didn't care. Some messages mocked her, she's so boring, probably why he needs us bad girls and I give him what wife he won't. Wednesday, I went to work, stayed late working on the new greenhouse automation project. Brooke texted asking if I'd be home for dinner. Told her to eat without me. She sent back a sad emoji. 20 minutes later, she was texting Garrett about meeting Thursday while I was at work. That night, she tried initiating intimacy. I claimed exhaustion from the project deadline. She pouted, but I turned away. Haven't touched her since finding out. Won't. Thursday came. I worked from home, told my team I needed to focus on CAD drawings. Watched our joint credit card transactions on my phone. 11:47 a.m., $8.99 at the coffee shop near her work. 12:23 p.m., $94.67 at the Marriott downtown. The same Marriott where she'd supposedly attended 3 workshops since May. She came home that evening glowing. Said work had been great, made progress with a challenging patient. Showed me a finger painting the kid made for her. I smiled, said it was beautiful. Made dinner together. She sang while chopping vegetables. I memorized her face, wanted to remember exactly how she looked while living this double life. After dinner, she went to shower again. Her phone buzzed. Garrett, you were incredible today. Patricia's out of town this weekend. Come over? I screenshot it, sent to my phone, deleted from her recently deleted folder. She responded later that she'd try to make something up. Friday morning, I met with my lawyer. Shane Crawford, specialized in adultery cases, recommended by my business partner who went through similar hell last year. Showed him everything. Indiana's an at-fault state. Adultery matters here. He asked about prenup. We have one, Brooke fought it initially but signed. Infidelity clause included. She forfeits claim to my business, the house I owned before marriage, and spousal support. Shane said the evidence was overwhelming. Started drafting papers immediately. Also suggested I separate finances within legal limits. Moved 70% of our joint savings to my personal account, exactly what I'd contributed. Cancelled her authorized user status on my credit cards. Changed beneficiaries on everything. All legal. All traceable. All justified. Saturday, Brooke mentioned our anniversary dinner. Asked if I'd made reservations. I said yes, our favorite steakhouse, 7 p.m. next Friday. She kissed me, said she loved me, started talking about what to wear. I smiled, already knowing what would happen instead. This week, I've been preparing. Contacted Patricia through LinkedIn. Sent one message, your fiancé Garrett has been having an affair with my wife Brooke for 3 months. I have proof. If you want it, I'll be at Rosewood Steakhouse this Friday at 7 p.m. Table under Wade Morrison. Patricia responded within hours, I'll be there. Also discovered something interesting in Brooke's work email, she stays logged in on our shared iPad. She'd been telling colleagues about our perfect marriage and how we're trying for kids. Posted photos from last month's date night on her clinic's private Facebook group with captions about marrying your best friend. The comments were all heart emojis and congratulations. One colleague wrote, you two give me hope that real love exists. I screenshot that too. The house situation required strategy. It's in both our names, bought 3 years ago. But the down payment came entirely from my account. I'd sold my stake in a vertical farming startup. Have all the documentation. Shane says with the infidelity and financial records, I'll likely keep it or force a sale in my favor. Started moving her things subtly. Extra clothes to the guest room closet. Her grandmother's jewelry box to the hall dresser. Photos of her family to a box in the garage. She hasn't noticed. Too busy texting Garrett about their future. Yesterday's gem, once I figure out how to leave Wade, we can be together for real. Our anniversary is tomorrow. Dinner at 7. She spent 2 hours tonight doing her nails, special for the occasion. Bought a new dress, $300 on our joint card. Black, with the open back I used to love. She modeled it for me. Asked if I thought it was perfect. Perfect for the occasion, I said. She thinks I meant romantic. I meant memorable. My brother asked why I haven't confronted her yet. Simple, rage makes you sloppy. I needed every document, every proof, every legal protection in place. Tomorrow isn't about emotion. It's about execution. The reservation is real. So is the 8-page divorce packet in my jacket. So is Patricia's reservation at the table directly facing ours. So is the email I've scheduled to send to Brooke's family Facebook group at 7:45 p.m. with select screenshots and a simple message, ask Brooke about Garrett. She could have ended this with honesty. Could have asked for divorce. Could have had dignity. Instead, she played me for 3 months while I was building our future. Installing sustainable farming systems by day, coming home to cook dinner for someone who'd spent lunch in another man's bed. Tomorrow, while she expects champagne and roses, she gets consequences. We'll update after dinner. Update 1, the anniversary dinner happened last night. Yesterday was our 7th anniversary. Now it's the day our marriage officially died. Woke up Friday morning to Brooke bringing me coffee in bed. She never does that anymore. Kissed my cheek, whispered happy anniversary, baby. Handed me a card about growing old together. I read every word, folded it carefully, placed it in my nightstand. Evidence of her performance until the end. She took the day off work. Spent it getting ready, hair salon at noon, manicure at 2. Sent me photos throughout the day. Making myself pretty for you. With heart emojis. Between appointments, she texted Garrett that she'd see him Sunday because the ED Omicron T wants his little anniversary dinner. I worked until 5, finished implementing the automated nutrient delivery system for Greenhouse Bay 7. My business partner asked if I was okay. Told him I would be after tonight. He knew what that meant. Drove home. Brooke was in our bedroom, wearing the black dress, putting on earrings I'd bought her last Christmas. She looked stunning. Looked like the woman I'd married. Looked like a stranger who'd been sleeping in my bed for 3 months while destroying everything. How do I look? She asked, spinning. Like you're about to have an unforgettable night. She laughed, kissed me, left lipstick on my cheek. I didn't wipe it off. Wanted her to feel secure until the end. We took separate cars. I told her I needed to stop by the office first, would meet her there. She pouted but agreed. The truth, I wanted my own exit strategy. Arrived at 6:50. Rosewood Steakhouse, where we'd had our 3rd date, where I'd proposed, where we'd celebrated every anniversary. The manager knows me, I designed their rooftop greenhouse garden. He'd reserved our usual table by the window, plus the table directly in sight line per my request. Brooke arrived at 6:55, glowing. The hostess led her over. She'd already ordered champagne. Dom Perignon. $400 bottle on my card. I let her pour. To 7 amazing years, she toasted. To truth, I replied. She laughed, thinking I was being philosophical. We ordered. She got the filet mignon, same as our wedding dinner. Talked about vacation plans for next month. Her sister's pregnancy. Maybe we should start trying, wouldn't it be perfect timing? At 7:20, Patricia walked in. Brooke didn't notice at first, focused on her story about a breakthrough with a patient. But I watched Patricia's face when she spotted us. When she recognized Brooke from the photos I'd sent. The rage, carefully controlled. She sat facing us, ordered wine, and waited. At 7:30, I reached into my jacket. I have something for you, I said. Brooke's eyes lit up. Expecting jewelry, probably. The 1.5 carat earrings she'd bookmarked on my laptop. I placed the manila envelope on the table. Her smile faltered. What's this? Open it. She laughed nervously, looked around like this was a prank. Opened the envelope. First page, screenshot of her first explicit message to Garrett. Her face went white. Wade. Keep reading. Page 2, the hotel receipts. Page 3, her message about giving him what wifey won't. Page 4, the photo she sent him wearing lingerie I'd bought her for Valentine's Day. Page 5 through 7, transcripts of their plans to be together once she figured out how to leave Wade. Page 8, divorce papers. She wasn't breathing correctly. Little gasps, like a fish out of water. Looked up at me, then saw Patricia standing behind me. Hi Brooke, Patricia said, voice like ice. Garrett showed me the photos you sent. The ones of you in my bed. In my shower. Wearing the robe I bought him. The restaurant wasn't loud, but it wasn't silent. People at nearby tables were noticing. Brooke's hands shook, papers rattling. This isn't Wade, please, let me explain. Explain what? The 3 months of lies? The 12 hotel visits? Or how you texted him about my father's death being good timing because I was too distracted to notice. That one was cruel. But so was her affair. Patricia set her phone on our table. Garrett doesn't know I'm here. He's at my apartment, with my brothers. They're helping him move out. I'm sure he'll be calling you soon. Brooke's phone lit up. Garrett calling. She didn't answer. 7 years, I said, voice calm. I built my business while you were in school. Supported you through your certification. Held your hair during food poisoning. Renovated the house for your home office. And you threw it away for a real estate broker who can't even be faithful to his fiancée. It didn't mean anything. Check your email. She did, hands trembling. The family Facebook message had sent. Her phone started exploding. Her mother. Her sister. Her father. The prenup you fought so hard against? I continued. Your lawyer should have read the infidelity clause better. You get nothing from my business. The house? My down payment, my credit, and I have every receipt. Your car? It's in my name. You have 30 days to refinance or return it. She was crying now, mascara running exactly like the cliché I'd imagined. Wade, please, I love you, we can work through this. Your belongings are already in the guest room. You have 1 week to move out. Shane Crawford will handle everything else through your attorney. I stood up, placed cash on the table for the champagne she'd ordered. Patricia had already returned to her table. The waiter, bless him, stood frozen by the kitchen door. Happy anniversary, Brooke. Walking out, I heard her call my name. Didn't turn around. The valet already had my car waiting, I'd tipped him earlier to be ready. Drove home. The house felt different. Lighter. Opened a beer, sat on the deck I'd built with my own hands, and watched the stars. My phone exploded with messages. Her family, shocked. Our mutual friends, choosing sides. Her, begging. I responded to exactly one person, her father, I'm sorry you had to find out this way. I loved your daughter. She forgot to love me back. He responded, I'm sorry too, son. You deserved better. Around midnight, Garrett showed up. Banging on the door, demanding to talk. I called the police. He left before they arrived. Brooke texted that he was upset, like that was my problem. This morning, I woke up alone for the first time in 7 years knowing why. The difference? Today, it's my choice. Update 2, 2 weeks since the anniversary dinner. The aftermath is exactly what I planned. Brooke moved out last Tuesday. Showed up with her sister in a U-Haul while I was at work. I'd installed cameras 2 days after discovery, she didn't know. Watched her on my phone as she walked through the house, touching things, crying. She tried taking the KitchenAid mixer. It's mine from before marriage. She put it back. Took picture frames but left the photos. Packed the expensive sheets, left the ones we bought at Target when we were broke. Like she was curating what to remember. Her sister called me that night. Said Brooke was staying with her, barely eating, crying constantly. Asked if I was sure about divorcing her. Did she tell you about the 12 hotel visits? I asked. Silence. Or the 89 photos she sent him? Wade. Or how she called me an Edie Omicron T while texting her affair partner. She hung up. Wednesday, I got an email from Brooke's lawyer. She wants to contest the prenup, claiming emotional duress during signing. Shane laughed when I forwarded it. The prenup was signed 2 years into marriage, with her lawyer present, after 6 months of negotiation. She initialed every page, including the infidelity clause. Shane's response was beautiful legal destruction. Haven't heard back. The house situation escalated Thursday. Brooke showed up at 10 p.m., drunk, with Garrett. He stayed in the car while she banged on the door, screaming about needing closure. I recorded everything through the doorbell camera, didn't engage. She eventually threw up in my hydrangeas, and Garrett carried her back to his car. Friday brought the professional fallout. Brooke's clinic has a morality clause, standard for people working with children. Someone, not me, forwarded her Facebook messages about the affair to the clinic director. She's not fired but on administrative leave pending review. Translation: they're building a case to terminate without lawsuit. Garrett's situation is worse. Patricia didn't just take the ring back, she went scorched earth. Posted everything on LinkedIn, tagged his company. Commercial real estate runs on reputation and relationships. His broker license might survive, but his high-end client list won't. Already heard from 2 developers that they've terminated contracts with him. The financial untangling revealed more lies. Found a credit card I didn't know about, in her name but using my social. $8,000 balance. Jewelry, lingerie, hotel rooms. My lawyer says it's fraud since I never authorized it. Could press charges. Haven't decided yet. Monday was surreal. Went to our favorite coffee shop, Creature of Habit. Brooke was there with her sister. Saw me, started walking over. I left my full coffee on the counter and walked out. Not running, not angry. Just done. She called me cold. Garrison called me smart. Her mother reached out yesterday. Long email about forgiveness, second chances, how Brooke's destroyed over losing me. How she knows her daughter was wrong but can't I see how sorry she is. I replied with one screenshot, Brooke's message to Garrett from the morning of our anniversary. Can't wait for this stupid dinner to be over so we can be together. Her mother didn't respond. The irony? My business is thriving. The stress of pretending everything was fine is gone. Landed a contract yesterday for a 50,000 square foot vertical farming facility. My biggest project yet. The client mentioned they respect someone who handles problems decisively. Apparently, word travels in professional circles. Brooke texted last night. Long message about how she understands my anger, but destroying her life was cruel. That Patricia had Garrett arrested for violating restraining order after showing up at her work. That her career is ruined. That her family looks at her differently. That she loved me despite the affair. I didn't respond to the text. But I did respond to the situation. This morning, I donated our wedding fund savings, the $12,000 we'd been setting aside for a vow renewal next year, to the autism center where she used to work. In her name. They'll send her a lovely thank you letter. Tax deductible for me. Petty? Maybe. Satisfying? Completely. The divorce should be final in 60 days if she doesn't contest further. Shane says her lawyer is advising settlement, the evidence is too damaging for court. She'll get her personal belongings, her retirement account, and her student loans. I keep the house, business, and self-respect. People ask if I'm okay. Honestly? I'm better than okay. The woman I love died the moment I read those messages. The person who showed up to our anniversary dinner was a stranger wearing her face. You can't mourn someone who never existed. Next week, I'm starting therapy, not because I'm broken, but because I want to understand how I miss the signs. How someone can kiss you goodbye in the morning and spend lunch in another man's bed. How I love you becomes just sounds without meaning. But that's for future Wade to figure out. Current Wade has a business to run, a house to make mine again, and a life to rebuild on my terms. The opposite of love isn't hate. It's indifference. And I'm almost there. Final update, it's been 3 months. The divorce is final. Here's where everyone ended up. The papers were signed Tuesday. 63 days from filing to finish. Indiana moves fast when adultery is proven and prenups are ironclad. Brooke fought until the end. 3 lawyers, each one dropping her when they saw the evidence. The last one, an ambulance chaser who advertises on bus stops, finally convinced her to settle. She got her jewelry, personal items, her aging Honda, and $3,000 I voluntarily gave her for a security deposit somewhere. Nothing else. She works at a different clinic now. Smaller, less prestigious, 40 minutes outside the city. The review board at her previous job found conduct unbecoming of a healthcare professional. Not the affair itself, but using company resources, iPad, email, to coordinate it. Clean termination, neutral reference only. Garrett's spectacular fall continued. Lost his real estate license after Patricia filed complaints with the state board. Turns out he'd been using client properties for his hookups, not just with Brooke. Security footage from a dozen properties showed him entering with different women. Wire fraud charges pending for billing clients for property inspections during affair meetups. He's selling cars now. Used Toyotas at his uncle's dealership 40 miles out of town. Brooke and him lasted exactly 3 weeks after my anniversary dinner before he cheated on her with a bartender. Poetry. Patricia and I had coffee once. Not romantic, just 2 people who survived the same explosion. She's in therapy, rebuilding. Thank me for the evidence that saved her from marrying a sociopath. We don't talk anymore, some wounds heal better apart. My business doubled. Turns out, the story spread through our professional community. Not as gossip, but as reputation. Wade Morrison doesn't tolerate BS became something clients respected. Just secured funding for 3 vertical farms in Chicago. My business partner jokes that my divorce was the best marketing we never asked for. The house feels different now. Ripped out the master bathroom she'd designed. Installed a sauna instead. Converted her home office into a greenhouse control room. Deleted 10,000 photos from the cloud. Every vacation, every anniversary, every lie she smiled through. Kept one, our wedding photo. Not for sentiment. As reminder that people aren't always who they promise to be. Started dating last month. Nothing serious. An agricultural journalist who's writing about urban farming. Smart, straightforward, calls me out when I'm being robotic about emotions. We're taking it slow. I told her everything 3rd date. She said, good. I don't date martyrs or victims. You're neither. Brooke sent one last letter through her lawyer. Long, rambling thing about forgiveness, growing from mistakes, how she'll always love who we were together. Had the audacity to suggest we could be friends someday. Shane filed it under no response needed. Her parents divorced last month. Her father called me, said discovering his daughter's capacity for deception made him examine his own marriage. Found out her mother had her own secrets. 28 years, gone. He apologized for his daughter, said I was the son-in-law he'd wanted to keep. We don't talk, but I sent him my lawyer's number. He needed better than bus stop advertising. The therapy's been useful. Not for grieving, but for understanding patterns. How Brooke's constant need for validation was there from the start. How I confused anxiety with love, her jealousy with passion. How someone who can't be alone will never really be with you. My therapist asked what I learned. Simple, when someone shows you who they are through actions, don't let words convince you otherwise. Brooke spent 3 months showing me exactly who she was. I just wasn't watching until forced to look. People ask about forgiveness, moving past anger. Truth is, I'm not angry anymore. Anger requires caring about someone's choices. I care about my greenhouse yields, my expansion timeline, my evening runs, my Saturday poker games with friends who sided with truth over comfort. Last week, I saw them together at a grocery store. Brooke and some new guy. She saw me, started to approach. I looked through her like she was architecture, noted, assessed, irrelevant. Continued shopping. The new guy looked confused. He'll understand eventually. The best revenge isn't served cold. It's not served at all. It's building something better from the ashes someone else lit. It's succeeding because of their betrayal, not despite it. It's becoming someone who would never tolerate what you once accepted. My vertical farms feed 10,000 families now. My business employs 47 people. My house is peaceful. My bed's not empty when I don't want it to be. My phone has no passwords to hide, no messages to delete, no lies to track. Brooke took 7 years. She gave me the rest of my life. Not a bad trade, honestly. To everyone in similar situations, document everything. Lawyer up immediately. Don't negotiate with terrorists or cheaters. Your dignity's worth more than their tears. And remember, the best response to betrayal isn't revenge. It's replacement. Replace them with better people, better boundaries, better life. Moving forward, not looking back. Wade. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you really like our videos, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.